Hey everybody, it's me, Radiationite, back here with another video, and today we're doing floor 1 with only April Fool's characters. There's only 5 towers we can actually use in this entire challenge. Towers that we can use are 1x1x 1x1, John Doe, Jeff the Killer, Draco Boxer, and Driver Seek. To start, it was very simple since I only have 2 towers that I can start with, Driver Seek and John Doe, one of them being much stronger than the other. And since I had so much money, since when I bumped the 2 times knob pack, I thought it would get me more knobs when I won games, not inside the game, but I would have a lot more money to use. Since I had so much more money, I mainly focused on my 2 starting towers for some reason. Also, if you go on to enjoy the video and want to see more like this, be sure to like and subscribe and join my Discord server, links down below in the description. There you'll be able to talk to me, make new friends, and meme around, so I don't see a reason why you shouldn't join.
Come to parent, Goblino.
As you could see here, I wiped out the boss easily. Next match started and I used John Doe as my first tower since he's one of, if not the best starting towers in the entire game. Oh, by the way, one of my friends, Mr. Billy, actually made a Dwarf's Tower Defense Tower Value website. It's actually pretty cool, and you can see if you're getting scammed or not. Such case, like you're trading and you place down a Forgotten 1x1x1, and the other person places down a Keymaster. You could see that the Keymaster isn't worth your Forgotten 1x1x1. I'll link the website down below in the description. Going back to the video, I managed to get a Draco Boxer down and he was carrying. He is pretty strong at this point and stuff. I was saving up to get a 1x1x1x1 down, and once I did, I knew nothing could get past it, literally, like since 1x1x1 is literally the strongest tower in the game, no joke. There was a small chance that something could get past 1x, so I decided to upgrade my John Doe to the max in the case that did happen. Luckily it didn't, for obvious reasons. As you can see here, 1x1x1x1 and Draco Boxer wiped out their boss. The next match started the same way all of them do, with the John Doe being in probably one of the best points in the map, and that is the curves. By the way, if you go on to enjoy these videos, be sure to like, subscribe, and share with a friend, since it really helps out a lot. And I'm the only one working on these videos, so I have to put a lot of time and effort into these videos. And you should join my Discord server, links down below in the description. Here, you can talk to me, meet friends, and meme around, so I don't see a reason why you shouldn't join it. The rest of the match went on very easily, and I just mainly used Draco Boxer to get some of that mid-game damage in, and I saved up to get a 1x1x1x1 as I would normally do. I also managed to get down Jeff the Killer, because why not? We ended this Russia's extended life warranty. Nothing really happened in the beginning, and I was just actually saving up to get a Driver Seek, surprisingly. That's when I figured out the placement on this map's a little weird. So that's when I decided to put it next to John Doe, since it was a pretty good spot to begin with, and Driver Seek could shoot the people if he needed to. So naturally, when I had almost 5,000 knobs, I upgraded my John Doe. I literally just saved up money here, so enjoy the Subway Surfers gameplay. Once I had enough money, I knew I would be able to win easily with 1x1x1x1, and I just had the trouble of finding the best spot to place him since of this map is janky placing physics, so I just placed him on the floor. I took 1x1x1x1 out of his lair and forced him to battle again. I know, how cruel of me. Man, who would have guessed that I beat this match very easily? Next match was a straight line map, one of my least favorite maps because there's no good vantage spots for towers such as John Doe or Driver Seek. Anyway, we started off and it was pretty easy. It was pretty easy early game, and I just decided to focus on leveling up John Doe so he can do more damage against the stronger enemies. There's definitely a difficulty change from the only figures challenge, since figures were much more stronger and stuff. But yeah, this so far was pretty simple, and I managed to get down the Jeff the Killer, which wiped out the entire place. I saved up money to get down a Draco block, so just to get that extra damage in, even though I really did not need it. And while editing, I actually noticed there's actually a picture of the owner of the game in this map. If you check below the Roblox icons, you can see a picture of him above 3 candles. I never noticed this until editing just this video. And how could I forget my precious 1x1x1x1 and place him down this late into the game? It's so wrong, man. Either way, we still wiped out the boss. The next match, I placed down a John Doe. I then placed down a Draco block so just to get that extra damage in, since I knew these bosses and stuff were tough. I saved up my money to get down a 1x1x1x1 to get the damage in, and that was a really good investment, obviously, since he's the strongest tower in the game. Now, I didn't upgrade my 1x1x1x1 at all, and I didn't think it would affect me too much. Surprising me, I actually almost died to the boss. The next match, I mostly just used John Doe and 1x1x1x1 to get the damage in, and who would have thought the best starting tower and the best tower in the game would have mostly beaten this match on their own. I know, big surprise and stuff, but yeah. With the final boss coming quickly, I thought I would be good. Unfortunately, Glitch got through, but a Jeff the Killer got it. The next match, I used John Doe and Driver Seek as my 2 starting towers to get past the first few waves. I also got a Jeff the Killer down mid-game to get that extra damage in just in case anything got by. Since I love 1x1x1x1x1 so much, I took him out of his Forsaken game and forced him to fight for me, letting those survivors win. Seek nodded his head to the beat of death as he drew his last internal breath. Door 50, meaning we're halfway through this challenge, guys, and yeah, it's been pretty simple so far. Harder than the Only Figures challenge, but that's to be expected since Figure is one of the strongest units in the game. Also, the Only Seek's video is coming, I just have to make it and stuff. I was a little worried the boss rush would actually manage to get through, but to my surprise, John Doe was actually a lot stronger. I must have read it as 30,000 or something like that. But yeah, it was taken out easily. And I managed to get my John Doe. to max level. I saved up my money and upgraded my Jeff the Killer to be the next level to get the more damage in. And the thing I love about towers that do a hack every 0 seconds is that they're literally one of the strongest in the game. Doesn't matter what they are. And we also got it to max level too. And we cannot forget the one, the only 1x1x1x1. He is the perfect tower. Yeah, I have nothing else to say here. We managed to get to wave 15 pretty easily, and we also got the boss figure. And I knew he could not get past Jeff the Killer. And I was right. Door 65, the only level where my figures managed to take damage. And in this match, will it be different? We will have to see. Well, I know the answer, but you don't.
You can't escape the shadow.
My only real complaint with this store is that they give you way too much money. Like, I managed to get a full level Jeff the Killer before wave 5, the mid game. And yeah, like, I managed to get my John Doe to max level pretty quickly as well. And a few rounds in, we're in the late game, and I managed to get a 1x1x1x1 down, and I actually managed to get him up a couple levels. Like, I get you have to give him more money for this compared to, like, door 1, since the enemies are much harder. I know that I'm not very popular and stuff, and I know the devs won't probably hear my suggestions, and I'm totally not a tester for this game, meaning I could do infinite combinations for anything in the game and just have to use the towers and the theme and stuff. But yeah, we wiped out Halt pretty easily. He didn't even stand a chance. We can't even get a break in the infirmary since the entities still want to attack us. So anyway, we used our John Doe tower to get the early game, and with his high damage, being crucified, I knew I could get a good early in, and I managed to get down a Jeff the Killer pretty easily. And even before mid-game, we managed to get our Jeff the Killer maxed out, which was kind of surprising to me. With our Jeff the Killer and John Doe maxed out, I decided to get down a Driver Seek. Once I got 5k, I did the natural thing and placed down a 1x1x1x1 down in the late game. And yeah, he wiped out things a lot, and so did the Jeff the Killer tower, so they make a good duo, I think. By the time the boss came out, I got everything except 1x1x1 to max level, and we wiped out Screech like the pathetic little rat he is. Once I got to the courtyard, I decided to go and put the John Doe here, since he will have twice the amount of chances to attack. John Doe killed like 3 enemies, and I had enough money to place down a Jeff the Killer down, so I did, and I managed to get a lot more money. I know, crazy. I also got down 1x1x1x1 in mid-game, because why not? I managed to get enough money to upgrade Jeff the Killer to get the extra damage in, since I know we need it. I knew naturally that the boss Screech would get through my front defenses, so naturally I saved up enough money to upgrade my front Jeff the Killer. Anyway, the boss Screech made its way down the track, and eventually it did meet John Doe, and it got some damage in, but was not nearly enough to upgrade it John Doe. And this is where we actually get our first damage in this run. I know, both runs indoors tower defense have had damage. I hope that comes to an end soon. Jericho blocks didn't do anything to Screech. To prevent this from happening again, I upgraded my John Doe to the max level. I also got my 1x1x1x1 to probably the highest level it's been in this entire challenge so far. We mostly wiped the floor with Bob, but yeah, he managed to get through the front defenses, kind of like the Screech, but I knew he wouldn't be able to get past the John Doe. But just to be safe, I upgraded Jeff the Killer to max here, and he actually might have been the reason why we won this round. Anyway, yeah, easy. Now it's time for the level I forgot about last video. Don't ask me how, I have no idea how I managed to forget this level. Anyway, yeah, we placed down John Doe, and he actually couldn't launch out the Screeches first try, surprisingly. Managed to get Jeff the Killer to max level pretty easily, and yeah, he was wiping out the Bobs and stuff. The only real problem I was thinking I was gonna have was the Swift Sally in this. With both John Doe and Jeff the Killer maxed out, with a little help with 1x, we actually were going pretty fast. As soon as I got driver seek down, my phone was starting to die and stuff, but yeah, we were doing pretty good so far. Boss Sally came out, and I was a little nervous, and she had a lot of health, 90,000, and once she got past my defenses, she was nowhere near dead. She had a little more than half health. So I got down a second Jeff the Killer and maxed it out, and he actually managed to do the job. I actually thought I was going to die since she was in his range for quite a bit and didn't attack. Door 100, the last door in this game. I'm to floor 2. Technically rooms exist, but we're doing floor 1. Anyway, we got down John Doe, and he had to hit the screeches twice. They were tanky and stuff, but I knew we could do it. I was also kind of scared for this figure since he's really strong. Anyway, we got down to Jeff the Killer, and he did a lot of work, and we managed to get him upgraded. Once I got the Jeff the Killer to max level, I went to go save for 1x1x1 and put him up front so he can deal some damage there. And yeah, he was pretty weak at this point, not even being able to deal with a Bob. But granted, that was probably his splash doing the damage and stuff, but yeah. And we got John Doe to max. At this point, I had every unit I could use down, not to the max because you can use more, but anyway, the front did barely any damage to the figure, and the other ones didn't do too well either. Granted, the Jeff the Killer got half his health, but I sold everything so I can get as much money as possible so I could upgrade and get more Jeff the Killers down in the side and the back so he can get finished off. So if 2 Jeff the Killers in a dream, I was hoping I would not die and lose since this was a pretty long challenge. Doesn't help that I got sick halfway through editing this video, so it's been on my mind that entire time. Anyway, we managed to actually defeat Figure. Let's go. And with that, we proved that yes, you can beat Doors Tower Defense with only April Fool's Towers. Thank all of you who went and joined and watched until the end, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Bye!